Okay, so all you have to do is just keep an eye on the ace. Okay, that's the money card. One king, one ace, and the last king. I'm gonna push it a little further close to you so you can actually pick it up and see what is the ace. Now usually they will say this card in the middle, but it's not. This card over here, no, and the last card, that's the ace. Okay, so you will have one last chance. Okay, all you have to do is just follow the ace. All right, now what is the ace? Maybe they say over here or over here, but actually neither here. Okay, so going straight up to the secret, this is what is really happening. I had two playing cards that I paint in a black color in the back with a marker in both cards, and actually the carpet, it is a little lighter black color and this is a little darker black. It's not really perfect matching the color, but because I'm using this other card, so when I show the ace and I push it forward, I may flash in a little bit, but it's really hard to tell when you go at a decent speed between fingers to see any mismatching of the color equality, you know. And this is the way I actually paint these playing cards. There are, you know, several ways you can do it, but the way I actually did it, it was with a permanent ink marker, black color. I just painted with a thick point. Make sure it is not thin point, because if it is thin, you will never gonna end up painting the card. And sometimes you need to do it twice, you know. With a thick point permanent ink, you paint it from inside out, going one way. Don't go back, because you may paint the edge of the playing card. You don't want to paint over here, just the back, not the edge. Okay, so you have to be careful. In case you paint the edge, you have to remove it. So go from inside out, okay, one way. And you can put any protection on the table so you can paint it outside. And once you already paint the card, this is what I did, because it is actually too glossy, and it's still kind of glossy, but it's not as glossy as it was before. Because what I did, I was using this Krylon matte finish 1311, which it helps me, you know, to make it a little darker, because from the ink itself, it's not really gonna help, and it's gonna be quite glossy actually, and you have to remove the excessive glossiness. So this is gonna be a good choice. Okay, so since I already used this Krylon matte finish 1311 in the back of one of the playing cards all the way, then to make the double lift more perfect, you know, I put this playing card right here, and then I spray this little part, and I spray it again in the back. It doesn't matter. So just spray it once, just like that. That's it. And just let it dry, you know, both cards, about 1 minute. And this is going to be good enough to spread it this way. But if I try to spread it this way, they are going to get stuck. It doesn't spread. If you put it against the light, you will be able to see the glossy part and the rough part of the card. If you don't really see it, you can spread with the fingers. You're able to touch it and feel it. Okay, it's hard to spread this way, so I know it's going to be here. And again, you can see against the light the glossy area. You actually spread both cards you know. But if I do it this way, you spread 3 cards. And that's why this way is going to help much better. And when I put it face down, this is the little rough area, about an inch. Okay, if I push it from here, both cards are going up front. And so I want to actually apply the pressure right here in the front, so the other one stay right behind. And I can use this side of the hand. Let me put it face up so you can see it better. When I push the top card to the front, I drag the other one back and I drop it. Okay, it can be to your legs depending on the table and the area that you're working on. And at this point, when you push the 3 cards forward, the spectator, they can lift them up and they can inspect the cards, and there is nothing weird. This is the hard way to do it, because you don't actually need to use the spray, but that's the way I did it, because the double lifts looks much better and they don't separate. Now there are many variations you can come up with this principle. As you see in the performance, I did it in 2 different ways. Now, as you also notice, I get them off the deck, the 3 cards, but you don't really have to go that way and get them off the deck. So you can just show, for example, that 3 cards, in case you're just using regular cards without any preparation. But the only problem is when you spread that 3 cards, or 5 cards in this case, you have to be careful when you put them on the table. Okay, maybe for some people that's gonna look a little bit more obvious. Now the only problem with this, without using the same method that I used, is because when you put them on the table, you have to be careful when you put the double, because they may spread. Even more difficult when you use brand new. This is why I use the spray, because since they are new, you know, they can be more easily to separate. Now, how you can get repeated cards instead of using 2 deck of playing cards? You can buy these Pinnacle bicycle playing cards. The Pinnacle consists with repeated playing cards, 2 of each, from the 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King, and an Ace. For example, over here I had the Ace of Diamonds, and then later on you see the Ace of Diamonds again. So this is why you want to use the Pinnacle bicycle playing cards, because the Pinnacle does what it has, the repeated cards, from the 9 to the Ace. Now the way you see I did it in the performance, the first performance, which is using 5 cards. It is more difficult because you want to appear the Ace from the middle to the side, but instead you can use 4 cards, as I did it again in the second variation of the performance. I just changed the Ace for a Joker. Let's see. Okay. I have the Joker right on top, and I also spray a little bit. I'm just looking at against the light, so I can see the rough area over here. Okay, and the 2 kings. Okay, it doesn't matter the preparation you want to use. It can be queens, jacks, whatever. And because I use a little bit of a spray, if I do it this way, I'm spraying the Joker. If I do it this other way, they don't spread. The Joker and an Ace is going to be together, and from here I had a double. Okay, when I push forward, once again I don't do it from the bottom because the double is going forward, so instead I do it from the front. Okay, I have the card over here. Now you can see it's a little bit of glossy, but it's not really much. You know, your hand is anyway on top, and when you flash it, you don't really flash too much. Let me put it face up. you see? So they won't be able to see too much anyway, and because of that decent speed. And then when you drag it back, just drop it, and you only did one change. Now the justification that I'm using to push it forward, because you have to push it forward, it is so the spectator, they can, you know, turn it over themselves. So that's the nice thing, because they can examine the cards. There is nothing that is going to be gimmick at this point.